Welcome. This is a talk on receiving miracles. This talk is being recorded in the middle of the woods, in the sunlight, with beautiful dragonflies and lilies and icy cold water, and beautiful trees and ferns, blue sky, clouds, sound of the birds. So there's much talk about manifesting. There's much talk about manifesting your dreams, manifesting the life you want, manifesting the financial support, income, work, relationship you want. And really, in reality, we don't manifest anything. We receive everything. So how does this work? And why is there this long conversation about manifesting, when all we really have to do is be present, still enough to become aware enough of the synchronistic miracles appearing all around us continuously, moment after moment. This receiving is the absolute opposite to manifesting. Manifesting is actually coming from a place of egoic want and desire. And those egoic wants and desires are based on prior established belief systems, whether they were instilled consciously within your personal matrix or given to you at a time when your mind was in a more dreamy state and you were less present, perhaps a child, perhaps in a moment in your life where you weren't so present, awake, aware, conscious. This happens to all of us. We slip in and out of actual reality. The slipping in and out of actual reality is there is a reality where we receive the miracles, and there are realities that the mind and the ego desires create, the false realities. This is a little bit like when we walk into the cinema, and I say the cinema because cinemas mostly have many different screens and movie showings, and we walk in and we can choose. Mostly we've chosen before we arrive what we want to watch and go and experience, and we take the ticket and we enter the movie theatre and that particular screen that's showing that particular movie that we've chosen. That's the equivalent to manifesting. In your mind, you generate and create the movie that the egoic desires want. And the egoic desires are coming from places of woundedness. That when we unconsciously manifest from that place within us that we may or may not be aware of is a wound, we enter into a movie space, a theatre of our own design that ends up feeling like a horror movie more often than not. Why does it end up feeling like a horror movie when we set out to manifest something beautiful, a relationship, the work, our soul mission, purpose in this realm that we are finding ourselves awake and aware in? It comes to that sticky point where it all becomes perhaps too intense emotionally because we, the ego, created it. We may have manifested a miraculous encounter with another being who we fall into relationship with, but soon find out that the actual nurturing and the actual real connection that we're seeking is full of wounds in this particular landscape we have manifested, this movie. So how, when so much has been taught about manifesting and how to create the imagery and the sensation and the feelings in the mind, how then is it that we do participate in this reality we find our consciousness awaken? It is, in fact, actually very simple. It is simply about coming to stillness and quietness many times over, to sit in meditative, contemplative, if necessary, contemplative silence. Perhaps we hear the birds, perhaps we have our feet in cool water, the natural elements surrounding us, the air, the sunlight, the clouds, the sky. Perhaps we're lying down at home, just resting, quietly listening to everything, feeling and noticing, sensing, releasing all attachment to what we think we want. And as we release the attachment to what we think we want, things fall away from us. The false generated matrices around us that the mind and the ego desires has created. We may notice space opening around our body. We may notice our mind becoming quieter, our breathing going deeper. We may even notice the body exhaling a sigh, a yawn, as the tension of holding and generating these matrices eases, perhaps for a while. Sometimes the release can be permanent, and we find ourselves in stillness, in the true reality, which is just presence. Consciousness is able to be just present with what is. In this expansion in the body-mind field, we can experience an incoming energy. This some may perceive as universal energy, goddess, God, divinity, grace, the angelic realms descending through us, the Holy Spirit. This energy frequency is always here with us, but oftentimes it can't move through us because we are in a reality of our own creating within the one reality. We know when that is happening to us because what we're experiencing begins to feel very uncomfortable, squeezed, intense, heavy emotions, sadness, depression, anxiety, sleeplessness, worry, a whirring mind, a mind that is conjuring up even more strange and awful scenarios than the one you now find yourself in. You may have had times already on your journey where you have been able to retreat perhaps just into a class, a yoga class, a meditation class, or perhaps into a full, long, week-long weekend retreat, and disengaged from the reality you had been generating and living in, and noticed yourself much more present and able to be relaxed and be conscious in the moment, aware of the food you're eating, aware of the sleep that you need, noticing the moment that you feel creative, the moment that you feel reflective, the moment that you see more clearly that which you have created and that which you wish to no longer really be involved with. And that was your manifestation, whether that was consciously or unconsciously. Consciously these days would be, I am consciously manifesting this, that, or the other. But even if you perceive that you are consciously creating that, it's still an error. We're not here to manifest, we are here to receive. As we channel divinity, grace, universal energies, the matrix of pure compassion, of pure love, we receive that which is energetically then vibrationally correct for our system. In running through with this energy, the incoming flowing out, we receive back in becomes effortless, and we become whole and we become well. We have unplugged from all the false systems, all the false movies, all the false matrices, however romantic, however exciting, enticing they may have felt at the beginning. We come back to a still point, a meditative still point, open up the expansive energetic systems throughout and inside the physical body, all around us. Allow the dissolving of the ego wants and desires, and really invite in and sense, become very sensitive to a stream of consciousness, of energy, of love, of compassion, wisdom coming through us that can extend into this real reality, and it draws to us, i.e. we receive back then. It's symbiotic, like the tree, oxygen, carbon dioxide, rain, clouds, water. We are also a symbiotic being. We receive. Our consciousness is highly evolved to the point, and ever evolving, that we can manipulate what we see through the lens of our mind, through the lens of the consciousness we're deploying and employing. But this is not holy. This is not the God force. This is not creation, true creation. This is that full sense of ego self. In fact, this is what we would come to in the analogy of the fall from grace, the Adam and Eve story, where at one point we were just beings moving energy and receiving all that was needed. When mind consciousness was able to expand itself through wants and desires, dreamscaping, egoic dreamscaping, we immediately disconnect, and in the proverbial inverted commas brackets, we fall from the grace of the great spiritual energy that so wants to run through our body, so wants to express itself. It is love, it is compassion, it moves through your eyes, it moves through your hands, it moves through your heart, the soles of your feet, your core, your navel. It wants to pour out and extend itself to create more love, more peace, more harmony, more divinity. And as that flows out, it returns back on itself through you, and you receive that which is divinely orchestrated for your specific needs and requirements to always be regenerating, always be in health, always be able to be in wonder, in contentment, in joy. So noticing perhaps in this moment where you may be trying to manifest something through visualization, through affirmation, through talking about it, through trying to actually physically change matter over matter. Matter over matter, for example, would be a very good example would be taking out a Visa card, a bank loan to go and purchase the thing or go and experience the thing. That's matter over matter, because the ego had a desire. But taking those options, the matter over matter, and forcing that desire into the reality that you find yourself in, perpetuates the cycle of false manifestation. I can verify that and remember so many times thinking, I really want to go and do that. How can I do that? Because if I do that, then I can get X, Y, Z that I think I need. But it costs this amount of money, so let's just see if I can open up a credit line, find a bank loan. Oh, look, I've received a miracle because the bank said yes. And I have now manipulated matter over matter, and I'm going to go and purchase the thing to receive the things that I feel like I need. This is a false sense of creation. It can be fun. It's actually very addictive, and we fall asleep in this false sense of manifestation. Eventually it causes pain. Perhaps I had no way to repay that income, that loan, or the thing that I thought I would learn so that I could generate income. Actually, it doesn't work for me. I don't enjoy it, but now I'm left with this intense financial burden. And we have to look at this level of manifestation in the world around us, our personal and our collective. And perhaps try to come back in a circle round to just being. And that literally starts today, this moment, with just accepting being. We honor our responsibilities that we have already generated in generating the movie that we thought we wanted to be in. But from this moment, we come back to observing and take practices, spiritual practices, that help us come back to rest, allow our nervous system to recalibrate so that the whole body and the mind and the heart are flowing and feeling expansive and not contracted from the mind thinking things. When we expand through meditation practices, yoga practices, walking in nature practices, contemplative practices, writing, reading, these fluid spiritual energies or energetic frequencies of love and compassion and light and joy can flow through us. And as that happens, and we've all probably felt that at one point or another, we've been in a flow state, not trying to do something, just being in something, and we feel this expansion and we feel this expression through us. And when we look at another, or the plants or the animals, we feel deep love, deep compassion, even wonder. That is not the ego, that is grace moving through your body, that is energy frequencies, high energy frequencies moving through you and out through you, which is what we are here to do. The best thing we can do for ourselves is really take daily practice of stillness, quietness, retreating a little bit from the matrix that you are in and have created and generated to observe your stillness. And it's not, as I said, about retracting from that. There are responsibilities now in that matrix that you have created, but it is about not furthering the false agenda in that matrix. And then the more we come back to stillness, quietness, meditative, contemplative awareness of what we're seeing, what we've created, understanding where that actually came from and that it's not something we received, it's something we made, then we start to see everything shift around us, because the energy that you are now allowing to flow through you is going to be able to reorder your reality to the right level of experience for you. That's when, in the quietness and the stillness, you will notice the synchronistic meetings that feel very wholesome, the miracles that appear in front of you without you manifesting them. You just notice them. And the most divine gift of all is that we still have free will. We may see the miracle, we may notice the synchronistic moment of connection with something or someone. We may understand how to move into that miracle, that moment, or we may choose not to. We still have free will. But that which is being given to us is much more aligned, wholesome, nurturing, loving, enthralling. We will never be frustrated, bored, depressed, anxious, sleepless, worried when we are actually moving energy through us and receiving back that which we need. So if there are situations, relationships, your whole life experience is feeling incredibly hard at the moment, come back to stillness practices, meditation, contemplation, writing, journaling, just being awake and aware, slowly walking through a forest, a field, finding yourself just dipping your feet into a cold lake, grounding, earthing, taking your shoes off, Noticing when your mind wants to engage in your drama, but coming back just to stillness and actually asking to receive just a sense of peace and calm and quietness. And as you expand and release all the stress, all the tension, all the anxiety, all the worry, all the fear, all the pain, you will receive a sense of wholeness far beyond that which we think we can get for ourselves. As that flows through you, people will respond extremely differently to you. And that response coming back towards you will be more loving. It will be more kind, gentle, soft, nurturing. So to close this talk on receiving miracles, just like you, if you're in a safe place, and you can, to close your eyes, to take a nice deep breath in and out. And again. And one more. Just noticing your whole body, your head, your shoulders, your arms, your legs, your feet, your hands, whole length of your back, your belly. Noticing your heart space, the nape of the neck, inside the middle of your head, the back of your eyes. Take a deep breath. Just imagining now at the very crown of the head, the top of the head, that your awareness of your head can just expand about a foot above you and just be in the above space above your head. And now just noticing that there is space all around your body, noticing that you can notice the space around the physical body. And on your next deep breath out, just visualize that breath from the space around you moving through the interior of what you perceive as your body. Just clearing, expanding, moving through you, down, 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 through the hands, through the feet. Draw this awareness that you're aware of back up to the crown of the head. And just invite, as if you could feel warm sunlight above your head, or a loving hand just gently in that space above your head. Invite that light or the sensation of a warm, loving touch or warm, loving, light energy to just come through the body. Imagine it pouring out of your eyes, your chest, your heart, your hands, the palms of your hands. your navel, and the soles of your feet. And just allow that sensation or image to remain for as long as you can. Allow that to be the extension of your energy, of grace, of universal will, divinity, love, peace, and compassion. And in any situation following this meditation, you can just fully extend that awareness to the other or into the situation that you find yourself in, the generated matrix, and just stand in it. We don't need to talk about it. And then from that moment forwards, just have a feeling of coming back, opening the eyes, taking a deep breath, and just coming back into awareness of your surroundings. So thank you for listening. I hope that serves you well today, tomorrow. Just remember to invite, extend, and receive.